All right, good morning, cyber traders. Welcome on back here this Wednesday, July 6th, shortly after 9 a.m. Eastern time. We're going to try and zip through this meeting as fast as humanly possible. Right now, I'm on a bad streak of bad tech days. The last couple of morning meetings, afternoon meetings, even from yesterday. Great to see Grant, Michael, Leda, John, Deb, Jim, Nina, Mark, and all of us just live inside the cyber group room. For all of us back on social media, Facebook Live and YouTube, I appreciate you folks being patient with me. Yesterday, I had some tech issues in the morning and afternoon here. IINN right now trying to break the pre-market highs as we speak. So right away, we're going to put this on our list to begin. News came out on this stock, something to do with a development of an HYLA blood sensor. I have that up on my Benzinga Pro screen here. Hey, we'll put this on our list to begin. Pre-market's been very slow this morning. Not a whole lot really happening up until the last 15 20 minutes, to be honest. The IINN here being our bigger move. Grant calling out IFRX a small pop, at least up to 160. So let's just go right from top to bottom, folks. I want to make sure we can kind of expedite this meeting, specifically, just make sure like there's no breakup in the audio or any of that BS from yesterday. So let's keep it going for right now. Now, this just actually broke above weekly resistance or daily historical resistance that I had lined up off of 215 to 220 to be exact. So just be mindful of a potential false breakout before the open here, but otherwise it looks pretty good. I like the big volume that came in off it here. So you would need to see 215 to 220 hold as support, and then from there, really, like, that seems like a pretty big level, right? So you'd like to expect a pretty big move shortly after, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll come back to this at the end, hopefully. The RFP trades the buyout, and we got a bunch of cheapies here on the gainer side here to begin. Let's see. Grant says sound is very good, just like new. Whew. There we go. Good. All right. Fingers crossed that remains. KZIA, we had this on our pre-market list. We were hopeful for at least one runner here today. It didn't come from the pre-market list. We had to wait a while for that IINN trade, but KZIA looked good going into 8 o'clock. It just got very choppy afterwards, and then held off resistance at 490, and then from there pulled back. So, could it still pop after the open? Yeah, I mean, I definitely can. But right now I want to just kind of keep this on the side for right now. I'm sure I could, add this at the very end of our, meeting here, but let's see if there's anything looking even better on the way up at this point. Grant called out the IFRX trade just earlier today, or earlier just before, small move back up to 160, which, it was looking good just for a moment. The VWAP's right there. We've had this iceberg order at 165 for the last, hour, since like the 8 o'clock move, basically. So, the 60 or 56,000 share order on the ask at 165, that's the bigger level of focus on right now, unless if that order just gets pulled magically. But yeah, I mean, the IFRX looks all right. I don't mind putting this in particular on our list. I feel like that KZIA could just be like a little choppy, if anything. All right, let's keep it going here, folks. Market was down a small amount pre-market, but then it pushed back up a small amount. Like, we have the Fed minutes meeting today, one of the smaller, Fed meetings, FOMC meetings. So it's not, like they're gonna look to decide anything major this, meeting here, but we're gonna see a lot of hesitation just overall within the market. Normally on these days, you're not really gonna see a big move up or down collectively. So, I'm sure you're gonna find like a quick cheap pop or drop, like, from like KZIA maybe, or the IINN obviously is still pushing. Man, the OCFT here, I mean, hey, it's up 4.5%. This thing's pulling back now. I know one of our students, John, said it was like thin volume earlier, or like low volume, and it's trading like 228K right now, but it's just slow. Again, like we just wanted to see it on the IINN trade. You want to see a big move shortly after. Don't get stuck holding on to a bag, right? After the market opens, that's when you could set stops, and then that's where you could look to try and manage trades. But right now, you got to have your finger on the trigger. So, I'm not going to put this on our list at this point. I had called it out earlier as it was holding over the closing print from yesterday, but right now I'm going to pass. All right, let's hop on over to the loser side. This AMTI trade took a huge hit, but it's hard to borrow, and I don't know how much of a dead cat bounce we can get here. It's not down that like famed like 70, 80%. Uh, I don't know. It's like kind of flat here, so I'm not really too thrilled with it for right now. Check out a couple stocks that are shortable. Some news came out this morning. Give me a quick second for that. Quick little water break, but DoorDash, and Uber both are dropping this morning in pre-market. Some news came out about Amazon taking a stake in Grubhub. So with that, you would expect for Grubhub's competitors to, have a bad reaction off that news. And with that, Dash is shortable. It's a little expensive. The Uber trade, because they have Uber Eats, right? And maybe you would think Lyft, but Lyft, they don't really have as much of a food delivery service. I mean, at least not in New York, if not mistaken. It's definitely more like Dash and Grubhub and the Uber Eats, apps. So Uber is down a little bit this morning, not down as much as DoorDash, but 3.3%. It's trading some decent volume in pre-market so far. I wouldn't mind putting this just on the tail end of our list for right now. John confirming, not even just in New York State, but altogether. He says Lyft just doesn't deliver food. There we go. All right. So that explains it. So, I wouldn't be as interested in Lyft to follow that as a sympathy play as I would be on Uber. Hey, Uber's more within our price range. That's the main reason why I'm choosing Uber over Dash. But if you want to follow DoorDash after the open, wouldn't be a bad idea. Got the LYT trade down over 5%. So I don't know if it's going to look to continue to squeeze up from yesterday. Looks like it already bounced off support level off of 525. I have a few different lines here. Looks like support here, broke resistance, then from there pulled back down to 525, 512 after that. Just not really too interesting to me right now. Let's see if there's anything more on the upside, or just a better short here at this point. I got nothing here on the loser side for right now. That's all right. I mean, we don't need to really put too many stocks on our watch list here going into the open. We have the Fed minutes meeting, like I just brought up earlier. The IINN trade still, pushing up. It's making a big move, so to say. I'd say the longer it takes to continue, perhaps expect a pullback going into the open. So, preferably on the IINN trade, which we'll show at the end here, you'd like to see it get up to 250. The EOSE trade, Norman just called out inside the live trading room. So he said that just popped a moment ago. Let me just check YouTube, see if anyone chatted that also. I want to give credit to where it's due. Norman from the trading room here, you got it. Yeah, I mean, hey, this one ended up making a decent pop, actually, at 845 or so, but right now it's up big. I think I skipped over this, to be honest with you. So I don't mind putting this on our watch list right now. It seems very active at the least, right? Trading about 1.6 million shares, 1.7. The iceberg at 155. Not to be confused with the iceberg at 165 on IFRX. There's EOSC here. All right, this is a good call. I like this one. Chris says the RIVN trade moving up, and then I'll just check out some side list stocks here at the end. Yeah, this thing is looking pretty nice. Geez, let me just check the news on this one. I'm on. Hopefully my audio doesn't cut out. I'm on a good streak so far this morning. All right, so RIVN says produced 4,400 vehicles in Q2. So some news, regarding their auto production and delivery, perhaps. But yeah, nice pop reaction so far. So good call from Chris. I like this. On a day like today, this is definitely one that you want to follow. Neo here, not really doing a whole lot, just tradable, just active. I didn't even line it up here this morning. I was more interested in IINN. I was pretty lazy actually going into the IINN pop, and then from there I said, all right, let me chart that. That's why I called out 215 to 220 there a moment ago. AMC not doing a whole lot either. My mouth is dry right now, folks. Got to refill up the water bottle. I failed to do that going into this meeting, so I'll tell you what, I think that we should call it. IINN here making a nice little squeeze up, though, like I'd said before. Perhaps expect that 215, 220 to be big support after the open. If it crashes right under from there, though, then that's not good. I would look for a real big drop off from that point. All right, folks, for all of us on Facebook Live, YouTube, I appreciate you sticking with me each and every day, each and every morning, at least for this week. I'm tagging in for Fausto as he's on vacation with family. Any questions that you have, send over to josh@c2trading.com. If you're interested in joining our live trading room, feel more than free to do so by going right down to the link on the blue banner below right there to get started. For Norman, for John, for Chris, for Kathleen, Nina, Michael, for Leda, for all of us just inside the live trading room, Deb and Mark included, I look forward to talking to you folks coming up just at the opening bell. Got a lot of time here. I'm going to refill up the water bottle, stretch the legs, and even make me a breakfast. But we'll see what's going on if folks going into the market open. I'll talk to you all coming up pretty shortly. Take care.
Become a Cyber Group member today. Just click the link below and receive all these amazing products and a world of knowledge for just $9. Do it today.